Hello and welcome to a new edition of Echo at Africa. My name is Nel Taigwe and I am very pleased to be presenting the show along with my new colleague from Kenya, Joy Bira. Hi there, Joy.
Good to see you, NT, and warm welcome also from Kenya. I'm your new host, Joy Doreen Bira. As an environmentalist, I am especially happy to be presenting this Green Show, brought to you by Deutsche Welle, Channels TV, and KTN. And here is what we have lined up for you today. We'll take a look at Kenya and how an app is helping people to find the quickest way through Nairobi's daily traffic jams. From Europe, we'll report on how activists are trying to stop whale hunting in Denmark's Faroe Islands. We'll introduce you to an environmentalist in Zambia who is not scared of taking on the government.
Burkina Faso, Mali, and Cote d'Ivoire are famous for their cotton production. Up to 20 million smallholders in these West African countries depend on this white gold. Over the last few years, many farmers in Burkina Faso began planting genetically modified cotton. But in 2016, the government announced that this GM cotton would be phased out by 2018. That decision unleashed a major debate that could be trailblazing for the entire continent.
This growing season, farmers in Burkina Faso won't be harvesting any genetically modified cotton. The government here has suspended planting of a variety sold by US agrochemicals giant Monsanto, at least for now. It's a victory for environmental activist Ali Tapsaba. He's worked for years to get a GM crop called BT cotton banned. He says that for farmers, the disadvantages of planting it are simply too great.
We've triumphed in the fight against GM cotton. Genetic engineering creates a dangerous dependency on the part of the farmer. And that's not even taking into account the damage done by BT, an environmental poison. We're very happy that conventional cotton is going to be planted again this season.
Michel Tamu is now busy with the harvest. It's hard work because the crop has to be picked by hand. One drawback of conventional cotton is that the farmer now has to spray pesticides on a regular basis.
It's strenuous work, and yet you don't earn a lot. But what else can I do? There isn't any other work in Burkina Faso. We're forced to farm cotton, whether we want to or not.
Conventional cotton from Burkina Faso is in high demand on the world markets. Its fibres are particularly long and dense, a quality the country's farmers are proud of. But Monsanto's seeds produce cotton with shorter fibres, according to the head of the National Cotton Producers Association, Karim Traoré.
Since we adopted GM technology, we've lost our good reputation on the world markets. We've lost the advantage that we had as a result of the high quality of our products.
In Burkina Faso, 12% of the population are directly dependent on the cotton sector. In 2015, there was a record harvest, but buyers stayed away.
GM technology has solved the problems caused by pests and the need to use pesticide, but now we have the problem with fiber length. We opted out because we produced a lot, but sold little.
The farmers of Yaoundé know they need to use less pesticide when they plant GM cotton, and the yields are higher. But many still prefer the natural crop.
You only have to spray once, but the seed is poisoned. The entire plant is poisonous, and that's bad for your health.
But the farmers aren't just concerned about their own health. They say GM cotton has far more disadvantages.
When our animals eat the leaves, they get diarrhea. Some have even died. And the seeds are very expensive. We have to take out loans to be able to afford it. And if the yield isn't satisfactory, we're saddled with this debt forever.
The Monsanto seeds cost up to 30 times more. Critics accuse authorities of selling farmers down the river.
They forced the BT cotton on them. When you look at how GM technology came to our country, it's clear that a political deal was involved. The system doesn't give farmers any other choice.
Burkina Faso's future seems to be heavily tied up with international business interests. Cotton is the country's most important export.
We haven't abandoned genetically modified crops entirely, but we have to find a good solution before we go back to planting them again.
Authorities in Kenya, Ghana and Uganda are soon set to decide on whether they should also ban genetically modified crops. The reaction of farmers in Burkina Faso could play a role in what they decide.
What gorgeous fabrics there. Now for something quite different. Joy, I often end up stuck in traffic jams in Lagos. I imagine that you have pretty much the same problem in Nairobi.
You can say that again. Sometimes getting to the studio is a real problem. So many traffic jams in the streets. So Nairobi residents are exposed to elevated concentration of fine particle air pollution on a regular basis. This could have potentially serious long-term implications for health. One entrepreneur from Nairobi came up with an idea to make traffic flow smoothly, and this app should help us move from point A to B so smoothly.
Diesel fumes from thousands of vehicles fill the air in Nairobi. The city's road network was designed for 300,000 people, but has to cope with 4 million. Stefano Bocco and his company Mathri Route are working on a solution.
I think everyone can relate to issues around being stuck in traffic. When you're stuck in traffic and you don't know why, and you actually spend more than a couple of hours every day, stuck in traffic, it can be very frustrating, one, also very stressful, and it's actually a waste of time.
Mathri Route is a crowdsourcing platform. Locals can share alerts about road accidents and traffic jams. Using the app, Twitter feeds or a Google map, users learn which areas to avoid. Because the smart traffic system is financed by advertising, it's free of charge for everyone.
We can just type in the name of the road that we're interested in, and the latest updates coming will actually be updates for the specific road that we're interested in. So this way we can actually plan our journey beforehand.
For Kenyans, the heavy traffic jams are not only a waste of time and fuel, but also of productivity. The traffic congestion costs the city hundreds of millions of dollars every year. So making the traffic flow again benefits both the economy and the environment. Mathri Route has gathered over 600 followers so far. Taxi driver James Mbui is one of them. He says he could not survive without the information.
There's always been a major problem with traffic in Nairobi. So my friend introduced me to Mathri Route. The app works because when there's heavy traffic, it helps me avoid the congestion.
By posting comments or rating the drivers of the Matatu public minibuses, users also help others to make good choices. The Kenyan government has now joined forces with the platform to create a better traffic solution for its citizens.
This is a constant challenge. It's not something that actually stops, but we were getting a lot of feedback from our users on a regular basis, and we use that to actually improve our solution and make sure that it actually serves them.
Stefano Bocco's company has already received several awards. Now he's planning to expand to other African countries.
So concrete, just like the one in my background, is the single most widely used material in the world. Some 7.5 billion cubic meters of concrete are made each year. That's about 1 cubic meter for each and every person on the planet. And the concrete has a carbon footprint to match. The head of a German construction company wants to help cut emissions. Together with 2 others, he has developed a system to recycle concrete, which has won them the German Environmental Prize. Let's see how exactly this works.
Germany produces over 2 million tons of construction waste annually. Most of it ends up in a landfill. Large trucks transport the waste across Europe. Traveling such long distances is necessary because few places are willing to take this rubble, which often contains toxic waste.
A fully grown tree needs 10 years to compensate for the CO2 emissions from a single truck traveling 100 kilometers. You can see what a huge potential there is here for reducing CO2 emissions.
Businessman Walter Fees couldn't get over this unnecessary waste of resources. The solution to him seemed obvious. Why not make new concrete out of the old? Within 6 years, he converted his family's trucking company into a recycling yard.
This is the stuff that dreams are made of. This is just normal rubble from a building demolition. First, you have to sort the material so there's no foreign matter in it. That means no wood, no plastics, and most importantly, no hazardous materials. We give the stone, the material, a new life.
Each truck gets weighed and checked to see what's exactly in the load. A crusher breaks down the large chunks into smaller ones. A machine then separates the rubble according to size while removing metal and other foreign materials. Contaminated materials are reprocessed too.
We think you can see a bit of the future here. This system washes construction waste. That way we can recycle it. Normally this material would have to be driven to a dump site, but here we can recycle up to 90% of it.
Even the water gets reprocessed. After being washed, almost all of what's left is stone and sand, valuable resources. The eco-stones produced by Fees and his company are made of 100% recycled materials. They can be used in the same way as normal concrete. Fees is both a successful businessman and a keen conservationist.
If we want future generations to have a quality life too, then there is no alternative. We need to reprocess our waste wherever possible and reintroduce it into the economy. It's been proved 1,000 times that it's possible. You just have to produce it with the right quality, and then everyone around the world can start doing it.
These blocks, made of 100% recycled material, have been set aside to build an information center for visitors. Fees wants to teach those visitors from around the world how to follow his example.
Back to Africa now. In Zambia, copper mining is the country's most important economic sector. The ore is excavated from huge mines in the copper belt. Mining has a big environmental impact. It has already polluted entire swaths of land. Many people in the region are feeling the effects, but one man is standing up for their rights. Tell us more, Auntie.
That's right, Joy. His name is Peter Sinkamba. He's the founder of an organization called Citizens for a Better Environment. Set up in 1998, it lends a voice to people negatively affected by mining. Finally, some of these powerful multinationals are being made to sit up and listen.